A significant debate is unfolding within the United States defense establishment concerning the future of one of its most critical strategic assets, the airborne command posts responsible for ensuring the nation's nuclear deterrent remains viable even in the most catastrophic scenarios. At the heart of this controversy is a new report from the U.S. Government Accountability Office, a nonpartisan congressional watchdog, which has cast serious doubt on the U.S. Navy's chosen path for replacing its aging fleet of E6B Mercury aircraft. These planes, often referred to colloquially as Doomsday Planes, perform a mission of unparalleled importance, and the GAO's findings suggest the Navy's replacement strategy may be fraught with unforeseen risks. The mission in question is known as Take Charge and Move Out, or TACAMO. This crucial operation forms the airborne backbone of the sea-based leg of America's nuclear triad, which also includes land-based intercontinental ballistic missiles and strategic bombers. The primary function of a TACAMO aircraft is to act as a survivable communications relay and command center, capable of transmitting launch orders to the Navy's fleet of nuclear-armed ballistic missile submarines, which patrol silently and undetected in the depths of the world's oceans. The ability to communicate with these submerged vessels, ensuring they can receive their orders under any circumstances, is a fundamental pillar of strategic deterrence. The current fleet tasked with this immense responsibility consists of 16 E6B Mercury aircraft, which are military conversions of the long-out-of-production Boeing 707 jetliner. These aircraft, which began entering service as E6s in 1989 before later upgrades, are not only old but also carry the weight of a dual-mission profile. In addition to the Navy's TACAMO mission, the E6Bs also support a vital U.S. Air Force nuclear mission known as the Airborne Command Post ABNCP, more famously known by its historical codename, Looking Glass. In this capacity, the aircraft provides redundant command and control for the nation's nuclear-capable bombers and its silo-based Minuteman III intercontinental ballistic missiles, even possessing the capability to initiate the launch of those missiles directly from the air. Faced with the inevitable retirement of the venerable but increasingly antiquated E-6B fleet, the Navy announced in 2020 its intention to procure a new aircraft to carry the TACAMO mission into the future. The chosen platform for this new plane, designated the E-130J, is the C-130J Hercules, a four-engine turboprop cargo aircraft renowned for its ruggedness and versatility. Specifically, the Navy selected the C-130J 30 subvariant, which features a longer fuselage, providing more internal volume. Northrop Grumman has since been awarded the prime contract to undertake the complex conversion work, and the first prototype of the E-130J is now in the earliest phases of its construction. However, the Government Accountability Office, in a comprehensive annual report assessing major military procurement programs, has raised a number of red flags about this plan. The GAO's most pointed concern centers on the fundamental choice of the C-130J airframe itself, which was selected 4 years before the formal development program for the E-130J even began. The Watchdog's report warns that this aircraft may struggle to meet the stringent operational availability requirements essential for a mission where failure is not an option. The GAO highlights that the Navy's own technical risk assessment acknowledged the profound complexity associated with integrating the vast and sophisticated array of TACAMO systems onto the C-130J platform. These integration challenges are expected to create significant manufacturing difficulties, as the process will likely require substantial deviations from standard C-130J components and must be conducted within a highly secure environment, further complicating production. The GAO's critique delves even deeper, targeting the very philosophy behind the Navy's acquisition strategy. The report warns that the E-130J program is following a traditional linear development approach, a rigid, step-by-step process that the GAO has repeatedly found to be a major impediment to delivering innovative and resilient capabilities quickly. This linear model, the report argues, inherently obstructs the program's ability to make rapid updates to the E-130J's design if changes are needed to counter evolving threats or to incorporate newer, more effective technologies. This inflexibility directly undermines the program's stated goal of utilizing a modular open systems approach, a modern design principle intended to allow for faster and cheaper upgrades over an aircraft's lifespan. The report starkly challenges the Navy's core premise that it can design a system today, using largely legacy technologies that will remain effective for decades to come. History is littered with examples of weapon systems retired prior to the end of their planned service lives due to obsolescence, the GAO's assessment pointedly adds. By establishing highly detailed and rigid system capabilities and performance metrics before the development process truly began, the Navy has, in the GAO's view, severely curbed its own ability to refine the aircraft's capabilities as development progresses, essentially locking itself into a technological snapshot from the early 2020s for a platform expected to serve deep into the middle of the 21st century. In its defense, the Navy, as paraphrased in the report, acknowledged the existence of technical risks but stood by its decision to use the proven C-130J platform. The E-130J program office also informed the GAO that it had executed specific risk reduction contracts with its subcontractors to proactively address issues related to component obsolescence and the critical demands of size, weight, power, and cooling swap seat before formally kicking off the development phase. It is important to note that the use of a Hercules airframe for the TACAMO mission is not without precedent. Before the jet-powered E6B Mercury consolidated the missions, the Navy operated the C-130Q, a specialized variant of the older C-130H Hercules, to perform the same role. Furthermore, the C-130J and its many subvariants are in widespread, reliable service across all branches of the U.S. military. For instance, recent data showed the Air Force's cargo-carrying C-130Js, maintaining an average mission-capable rate of nearly 72%, a figure that compares favorably to many other aircraft types. At the same time, the challenges cannot be understated. The highly modified E-130J will be a fundamentally different and far more complex machine than a standard cargo-hauling Hercules. The unique and exceptionally sensitive electronic systems required for the TACAMO mission place immense demands on any airframe, particularly concerning power generation and heat dissipation, as alluded to in the GAO's mention of swap-C risks. Ensuring the future E-130Js can match the operational availability of their simpler cargo-carrying cousins will be a significant and ongoing engineering and maintenance challenge. The GAO's report also implicitly raises broader questions about the future of the consolidated nuclear command and control structure. To date, the Navy has only confirmed that the new E-130J will be configured for the TACAMO mission. This raises the critical question of what will happen to the Air Force's Looking Glass mission currently performed by the E6Bs. The potential separation of these roles harks back to the pre-E6B era when separate platforms handled each mission. It is possible that other assets, such as the new Boeing 747-based E-4C Survivable Airborne Operations Center (SAOC) jets that the Air Force is now acquiring to replace its aging E-4B Nightwatch fleet, could assume the Looking Glass responsibilities. These larger aircraft are designed as more robust and comprehensive flying command centers than the E-6Bs, making them a plausible candidate for that role. The timeline for the E-130J's entry into service remains somewhat fluid, with past budget documents outlining potential orders for test and operational aircraft in the late 2020s. However, with the Pentagon's entire budget process facing unusual delays and uncertainty, these plans could change. The concerns now publicly articulated by the GAO introduce a new layer of complexity, and it remains to be seen how Congress and the Department of Defense will factor this critical watchdog assessment into the future of a program designed to safeguard the ultimate guarantor of national security.